Good morning, and welcome to the show. Today we're talking about relationships. Well, that's how you say it too, in the South, I think. Relationships.
Okay.
Well, I'm not in the South. That's how I said it. But today we're talking about 4 elements of trust.
We're talking about the 4 elements of trust.
Trust is one of those things, you know. You've had your trust broken by somebody. I know it. I've had my trust broken by somebody. I know you've had your trust broken by somebody. Oof.
Who's got
Trust issues.
trust issues? Drop a comment.
I think everybody has a certain degree of trust issues because you never know what somebody's going to do.
I think especially with our community, like if you're like us, you for sure have trust issues. I honestly think that anybody in this day and age now has trust issues.
That's what I'm saying. Because why? We've all been burned at one point or another. Somehow we've all been burned, right? And so trust is one of those things where it's like, it takes so much time and proof to generate. And then in an instant, it's like, boom, explosion, gone. And then to rebuild it, you always have this thought in the back of your mind, like, I don't know, because you fucked me one time. So there's always this like hesitancy.
Yeah. So, you know, in today's conversation too, like any relation, I mean, some of our relationship conversations are, you know, with regards to you and your significant other. But today's conversation is really with regards to any sort of relationship, you know, be it, you know, your relationship with a family member, like a cousin, or even your parent, or
a boss.
Yeah, like a coworker. I really don't like the word boss. Or somebody higher up who is in your organization.
A leader, a person in a position of leadership to you.
Yes. Or a significant other as well. Could be friends too.
I think the only person you can't lose trust in is children, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm trying to think, and I don't know.
And pets.
And pets, yeah. I don't trust you.
And that's why we love them.
And yeah, I think that I'm trying to think about it. Like, when do you ever lose trust in a child? I think it's because we have an understanding they're not fully developed yet. So sometimes they're either unaware of what they're doing or they just no filter. But I don't think that like you ever say about your child, like, correct me if I'm wrong, moms. But I try to imagine. I'm like, I don't think I've ever lost trust in a child. I'm just like, you're a child. I don't know.
I think all moms trust their kids, but I think with some kids, as they develop, some moms even lose their trust in their kids as they grow up.
I'm always forever going to be my mom's kid, right? But I'm saying kids under a certain age.
Yeah.
Dependent, you know, not fully developed. And so, you know, once we reach a certain age and we're aware of what we're doing and what's going on and we're making conscious decisions that we understand the consequences to, that's when we become responsible for those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to say something else.
Yeah.
Trust within yourself.
Oh, shit.
How many of you guys...
Give him a second. That's deep.
That's deep.
I'm so happy you said that.
Most people don't even trust themselves. If you don't take on opportunities fast, it's because you don't trust yourself. Because you failed or you don't trust. You failed in the past and you think you're gonna fail again, so you're gonna play life in the safe mode.
Opportunities you don't take that are dependent on your success because of you.
Yep.
Like that's deep because, okay, so how do we lose trust in ourselves? By not following through with what we said we were going to do. Okay, I want to lose 20 pounds. And you start on Monday, most likely. And, you're going and maybe you make it a couple weeks, but then you fall off track and you fail and you deem that failure as you are a failure, identifying yourself as I suck, I can't follow through with things. And the more times that happens, the less you trust yourself to follow through with what you said you were going to do. So now some people may be at the point where you want to lose weight and you're like, you still have in the back of your mind that like, but I'm probably going to fail again. So when an opportunity arises, you're hesitant to begin if it costs you anything because you don't trust yourself. Mm-hmm. Now that trust in yourself, then you can only trust somebody else to the degree that you trust yourself. You can only love somebody to the degree in which you love yourself. So think about that, because we've said it before, everything starts and ends with you. And you're only able to give and receive from somebody else the way you can give and receive from yourself.
Yep.
Somebody make some kind of quote or meme out of that. Something. Somewhere.
And I think that's also one of the reasons why so many people have trust issues with other people, because you're like, dude, I don't trust myself. Like, so let's say you meet someone, you will go out of your way to question them and to try to make shit happen because you're actually having like turmoil within yourself. Mm-hmm. So many girls do that shit.
You know what, too? I think about it and I'm like, you can lose trust in somebody or have a hard time trusting somebody you don't even know yet because of an experience that you had with somebody similar to them in the past. And I think about the most difficult job that we have when we're asking somebody to invest in a program or service that we offer is asking them to trust us. And that's why we thank you guys all the time. That's why I write in my gratitude journal in the morning often that I'm grateful for the community that trusts us, mm-hmm. because that's the most difficult thing, especially in the industry that we're in. Weight loss and health and fitness. Like there's just, and even, the realm of, business coaches. It's hard to trust business coaches. Why? It's the same thing as weight loss, where people are saying make $1 million in a year, and their feet lose 20 pounds in a week. And so that makes it more difficult then for us to trust other people, mm-hmm. who are, claiming to help us with a similar problem because of our past experience. So you either don't trust the person, you don't trust yourself, mm-hmm. or you don't trust the product or service or situation or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the mechanics of building trust. Okay.
The mechanics. Grease up the machine. Okay.
So step one is truth. Whether it's
give me a T.
Whether it's trust within yourself, trust with somebody else, or trust with anybody. Let's say you just met somebody and you go out on a date with them. And we kind of talked about it the other day, and your truth is not in alignment with their truth. Are you going to further pursue it?
Is there going to be a date number 2?
Probably not.
How do you discover that?
Through conversation.
Through questions and conversation.
Yep. So also, think about you watching the show right now. Why are you tuning in on a regular basis? And we're so grateful for that, by the way. But that is probably because you're like, these girls are speaking to my soul. they're like, we feel as if they're telling us the truth. So what do? You keep on plugging in. You keep on plugging in. And think about how you first got into this community. How did you feel? Were you skeptical because your best friend invited you and you're like, I
don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I wonder in my mind actually how many people are not joining or engaging in this group because they've had experiences in other places. But anyways, this is more about relationships.
Yeah. So, speaking the truth. And how do you feel when you get to know somebody and you know that they're just lying? Doesn't it, like, it throws you off?
And in the spirit of everything beginning and ending with you, I will say this as many times as I can because I truly believe this is one of the most foundational pieces of any relationship. If you want it to be successful, from the beginning, you have to speak your own authentic truth.
Yes. Yes.
You are also responsible for speaking your truth and being authentically who you are. Because if you're not, you are aligning with a person who, if you get in a relationship with, is not going to be aligned with the true you. And eventually, it's going to surface. If you're in a relationship that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, doesn't feel easy, chances are that you haven't spoken your whole truth. Maybe you haven't lied, but you haven't spoken about your feelings. You haven't spoken about your truth. Maybe you've hidden who you really are to some degree. You know, when we meet somebody for the first time, we want to make a good impression. We want them to like us. So as human nature, I think that it's really easy to try to gauge where they're coming from and then tailor our responses and who we are to what we believe they're gonna like. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that you unattach from the outcome of the date, the outcome of the first meeting, and be truly who you are and speak your truth.
Yes.
Step one.
No skeletons in the closet. Be authentically you. And, you know, for anybody who is in the LGBTQ community and you're listening to this, this is why it is, and this is my point of view, this is why it is so important to come out. Because if you're gay and you meet someone and you act as if, and if you don't show your entire truth to, be it your family members or whatever, you're lying.
You're gonna know.
You're gonna create resentment towards. Well, the person that you're seeing will start being resentful towards you because you're not truly being yourself.
And every night when you go to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And you are the only one that has to live with that.
Yeah.
That's like a side note. But being who you are, speaking your truth, living your truth.
It's courageous.
It's very courageous.
And
because also, as humans, we have a fear of rejection.
Yep.
You have to not be afraid of rejection, because think about this. If you were to be so boldly truthful from day one with a potential partner or significant other, that they don't like you or don't want to go on a second date with you, would you rather that? Or would you rather be in a relationship with somebody for a couple of years, miserable, and then somehow figure out how to break up with them? Because I've encountered so many people, and I even myself have been in relationships where I'm like, man, this is just shitty. I don't feel like this is how it should be. Either there's like obsessive dependent kind of qualities, or like you just get irritated with things. And the longer you wait, the more difficult it gets to be like, this isn't right. This isn't going to work. So it's really important from the beginning to be you and be like, if they don't like me, okay, on to the next.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be me and know that I can fully be me. I never feel like I have to hide the fact that I can grow a fucking beard from Sarit, because she knew from day one that I'm a lumberjack. Okay? So, I mean, you know, it's little things, right? It's like, oh, I don't think they'll like this, or I don't think they'll like that. You try to hide it. Dude, don't, because eventually they're going to see. Eventually they're going to find out. So just keep that in mind. Like, I want to lay more than all the cards I have on the table. Just in case I'm even this kind of crazy. You're still okay with it, you know? Because there's somebody for that, right?
So here's the gap in society. The gap in society happens because, truthfully, by the end of the day, everybody wants to be loved. But the problem starts with the fact that because everybody wants to be loved, they're going about it the wrong way. Instead of going against the grain. They're doing it by trying to fit in. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the problem with you trying to fit in. If you try to fit in, you're not you're not living your truth. You're living up to somebody else's expectation. And if you're living up to somebody else's expectation, you are never going to cultivate your own truth. And if you never cultivate your own truth, then you're going to feel like an imposter with regards to anything that you do.
If you're a circle, don't try to fit yourself into the square.
Yep.
If you're a triangle, don't try to fit yourself into the circle. Find the rest of the triangles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They're there.
So what ends up happening is that, you know, you're a circle trying to fit yourself into a square, and you're like, nothing fits. Nothing fits.
It doesn't feel right. Never force it.
Nothing fits because of you. What?
Don't force it.
Right. Just be you. And being you from day one it's simple, but because we are taught to fit in, initially it could be hard. But if that was the expectation, then dude, like, whether you're gay, you're straight, you're freaking crazy, like, that shit don't matter. You're being you.
We're all kind of crazy. You just have to find the right match to the crazy.
Yeah.
What's number 2? Trust element number 2.
So trust, by the way, I feel like we should only do 2 today. And then
Okay.
we should do the other 2 next week.
Yes, we have a little bit shorter of an episode today because we are traveling. But element number 1 is truth. Element number 2.
Competence.
What does that mean?
Like you gotta be competent with one another. Like, it's gotta fit.
I want to look at competence.
The definition of competence.
Yeah, did you make this up?
Nope. Nope. I learned that in a coaching session from one of my mentors.
The ability to do something successfully or efficiently. Okay, so let's relate this.
It's gotta fit.
Let's use this. The ability to do something successfully or efficiently. to do a relationship successfully in the realm of trust is what we're talking about. I feel like there's more to this.
Look, for example.
Yes, please.
Since day one of when we met, we both, we were very clear about the truth. With all of the shit that we had going on in our lives, we put all the cards out there on the table and we spoke the truth. But
I would exchange that. I would challenge it.
To what?
Honesty. Because there's 4 elements
From
of
truth
trust.
to honesty?
No, truth is truth. Honesty is when you fuck up. Actually, what do you have in there? Okay. I want to change. I want to change the second one. I want to change.
What?
I want to change it. I want to change it to truth, and then I want to change it to responsibility or ownership. When you fuck up.
No.
Please explain it to me. I'm confused.
That is level 3.
She writes this shit down, and I just roll with it. And so this is real life conversation.
Okay, so let's think about dating, for example.
Competence.
Okay?
I would like an example of how competence creates trust.
Just hold on. So first you start dating someone, you're like, man, they're a freak. I love them. Or I like them.
Infatuation.
Yeah. And then they invite you to their house to have dinner, and you're like, man, they can also cook. Their house looks great.
Okay, I see. They project competency in the things that you also align with. And it creates trust because they can now see.
Yes.
We're putting the pieces together. You see, English is her second language, and so sometimes it requires translation. And you're seeing a relationship conversation in real motherfucking life.
Yeah. So you go to their house, they invite you over for dinner, and you're like, man, they don't just say what they say, but I can see that they act on what they say.
So it's like proof.
And you're like, man, I really
whatever
like
word you want to stick in there that makes sense to you. This is so amazing.
So that's competence, right? And, then the courtship begins, and, you invite them to your house, and then they invite you to their house, and you're like, man, I can just tell by the way that they're living their life that shit just works. And let's say you took it to the next step, and you're like, you know what? You spend the
next
night.
Step? What
you
base
spend
is that?
the night, and you.
What base is that?
Base, all of them happened when you tell the truth. Okay, but you spend the night, and then you wake up the next morning, and they're like, "You won't."
Oh, you still look
and
like
then,
you.
and then you still look like you. You make them coffee, and then you ask them that question: do you want to go work out? And you're like, keep her.
And then you ask them that question. I'm like, what question? Do you want to go work out?
And you're like,
no. One of the first questions you asked me, Sarit asked me, I'll never forget. What's your favorite carb?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Sweet potato.
I said sweet potato. I would say rice now, but you know what? You know when passwords ask you to answer security questions, I never answer the ones that say favorite because my favorite shit changes. I never remember the password. I'm like, I don't know. What was my favorite when I wrote the answer to this question?
Yeah.
I would say it's rice now.
My mom's rice.
Only your mom's rice.
My mom puts crack in her rice.
I love the jasmine rice from Thai restaurants. When you put that yellow curry on it.
Well, when you put yellow curry on anything, it's just like magic. But, you spend the night, and then they make you coffee or tea, whatever it is that you drink.
You ask them that question.
And then they're like, yo, you want to work out?
I'm sure that's exactly how they ask it too. Yo.
And then you're like, shit, they're a keeper. So then you're like, oh man, like I like them even more. So first let's do the ta-da-ta-da, and then let's go work out. Because you're like, man, there is so much alignment, right? So you start your day off right. And like, because of more situations like that of truth, competence, and truth and competence, like you want to see each other more and you want to take it to the next level.
I think that...
And if you're a lesbian, then you'll probably like try to tie truth and competence in like one night. Had to say it because it's the truth.
I think that the relationship conversations are actually my favorite. Because I think about all the days, yes, I love mindset, and I think I have a lot of shit to say in regards to that because I've experienced a lot, and I observe other people. The money one, I think there's still a little bit of hesitancy in my mind because I struggled with like debt problems for so long that I've like... there's like subconscious level kind of things that still need to be released for me to believe I have advice to give about money. But the Q&A ones are fun. But man, like I feel like we all have so much experience with relationships. From the day you are born, you have no choice unless you're a hermit. But even then, chances are you probably still had relationships before you chose to be a hermit. And none of y'all are because you're here right now. So it doesn't really apply. Okay. So relationships are something that happen on a daily basis.
Yep.
And they look different all the time with every single person. And I observe and I watch and I see other relationships. And I am so open in my mind and truthful and honest with when I fuck up, what I need, what my feelings are, communication, and all these different realms of relationship that I believe that I truly have a lot of value to give. And so I think that that's why these are my favorite conversations. Because a lot of things that I say, I see you guys, you're like, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. And it's just really fun. Like, it's such a fun conversation.
Well, I think they get to see a different side of us. Because, yes, we are in teaching mode, but, I mean, we get very, like, up close and personal.
Relationships are fun to talk about, too.
Especially if you're in a good relationship.
You know what, too?
And I'm very happy and grateful to say that, like, we are couples goals.
You know, I'm also just very passionate because I've been in some really shitty relationships. Mm-hmm. And so my heart, everything in my soul wants people to have good, healthy relationships with everybody in their, circle. Right? And know how to have good relationships with anybody new coming in. So I think for me, I get so passionate about these conversations. So the 4 elements of truth, part 1. 4 elements of trust. Did I say truth? 4 elements of trust. Number 1, truth. Number 2, competency, whatever that means. We talked about it. If you didn't hear, listen back. And we're going to pick up on parts 3 and 4 next Thursday. Yes.
Next Thursday. We do have some housekeeping things, you guys. Oh yeah, next Thursday.
I just imagined a lady with a duster knocking on a door saying, housekeeping. And I felt like I needed to share that with you guys. Okay, housekeeping, carry on.
Is it before or after the workout?
Oh, the danantara.
This reminds me of LA.
The danantara made.
Literally like a weekend after we met, I flew across the entire country.
Are you talking about Dr. Splash?
To go spend to go spend another weekend with her.
Oh my gosh. You want me to fluff your pillow?
I don't get that.
I'll fluff your pillow. Now do you get it?
Okay, so maybe.
Gosh.
Okay, so step 1 is truth. You guys, hashtag be you. Drop a hashtag right now, be you.
Be you?
You.
Be you.
Be
be
you.
I'm like,
be you. Shit, now I want us to have a shirt that says "Be You."
Don't give away the secrets that I already have. You already know. I've shared this with you.
I thought you were gonna slap me in the back of the head.
Really? Bam! Good relationship.
So be you, dude. Like, it doesn't matter, like, what you've been through, what you're going through. Just be you. Like, no skeletons in the closet. Like, there is nothing that's a bigger turnoff than you trying to be somebody that you're not.
Especially when you're found out.
Be imperfectly you. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Don't try to keep up with something that you don't want to be.
We all have flaws. You might as well show them.
Yep. You might as well own that shit.
And if somebody else doesn't show their flaws, red flag.
Yes!
Question
Ooh.
them. Question it. You seem a bit too perfectly packaged. I mean, granted, on the first, second, or third day, whatever, they might not be revealed. But over time, you gotta know.
But you
What's
know what?
the dirt? Where's the dirt? Where's the baggage? Tell me about it.
Here's something that was so different about you and why I knew that, like, you're the one for me. Because you had no problem talking about your baggage. Like, we talked about our baggage, immediately. Because we're like, I really like you and I want you to know that this, and that is going on. Meanwhile, people who have skeletons in their closet, like, the skeletons will want to come out and they're like, let me.
You try to push him back in.
Yeah. Yep. That shit smells too. Like, your closet is nasty.
Nasty.
So better, if you're gay, come out. Just come out.
I didn't know that's what you're talking about. Skeletons in the closet could be anything.
Yeah.
But, sure.
No, but this is also a word of encouragement that if you're in this community and you need to come out, you better freaking do it, okay? Because life is too
Any
short.
baggage, if you bet, like, you got kids? Tell somebody you got kids. Don't hide it and then be like, fucking 4 months later, I want to introduce you to my kids. They're like, you're what? Like, don't hide stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that does it for today's conversation. Do you have any other housekeeping?
Yes, I do have housekeeping things.
Right.
So tomorrow is interview day.
Yes.
We have a badass for tomorrow's conversation.
Actually, I would like to share something very unique about this individual.
Okay.
She would do exercises in Crocs. Mm-hmm. And she's a very elite CrossFit athlete, but she calls it Crocs Fit. And I'd also like to share with you that I'm wearing some right now.
And so am I.
And not only am I wearing them, I have one of those dumbass little things of Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
These are my Nemo Crocs.
Boogie helped to pick those up.
Yeah. So anyways, in case you were wondering, I don't care. Be you. I'm being me in my damn Crocs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so interview tomorrow, 6 a.m. on Zoom. Check your email because you're going to get a live in 5.
6 a.m. Pacific time with Bethany Shadbourne.
Fun fact, we're actually going to be in Miami, so it will be 9 a.m. our time, which is weird.
Yep, it is going to be 9 a.m. our time. You guys, tomorrow's conversation is going to be powerful. We're going to be talking about all things fitness and body love and body composition. And it's just, and she's a freaking badass. So, like, you will want to join for that. Okay, other than that, Friday interview day, we will drop a link for tomorrow's conversation in a couple of hours. Okay, so make sure to be there. Monday, we are going to be in the air during showtime. So unfortunately,
yes,
Monday's conversation is going to be canceled. So just set that as a reminder. That being said, tomorrow is interview day. Our next show will be on a Tuesday, which is Q&A day. So write those questions. They're in the announcements. There is a link for the form where you get to ask all of your questions. You get there's no such thing as a bad question. So just ask away. Sounds good?
Yes, and Tammy, if you're here, can you post again, just a normal post with that link? It is in the announcements of our page, so you can find it. But if we can post a link, that would be amazing too. I can also try to remember to do that as well. But I have a fun announcement.
Okay.
We got some merch dropping.
Ooh.
We got some merch dropping, and check it out.
You guys will want to be on that
Merch droppings. So it is going to be, mark your calendars, it is going to be on December 12th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Live. I just gave you the date and time it's going to go live, and there's going to be some shit you don't want to miss out on. Aight? December 12th, 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Limited, right?
It's limited. Yeah, it's a, what do you call it? Exclusive. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Should we tell them how many units of the thing?
There's 2 apparel items. There's going to be the planners. If you guys saw the little video promo for the planners, those are epic. Those we have a shit ton of, because people are going to reorder those. So those are not going to run out. Those are not limited. The pens and the bracelets and stuff like that are not limited. But the apparel items that are going to be dropped, which are a secret, there's actually only 2 of them, I believe, are limited. So, December 12th, 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Yep. So, if you know...
At erinandsarit.com. Sorry.
If you know that you will want in on that, then you better add it to your calendar, because that shit's going to run out. So, add that to your calendar. Tomorrow's interview day. Tuesday is Q&A day. Other than that, you guys, we will see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow on Zoom with Bethany Shadbourne. It's going to be badass. Be there or be square.
Gimme.
Bye, guys.